Hey guys, today we're going to talk about a type of critical reading question, and I like to call these in-context word questions, right? Now, these questions will look very straightforward. I'll give you an example. A question says, in the following passage or in line 17, the word drive most nearly means, and you say, okay, that seems pretty straightforward. It seems like a vocabulary question, right? But the problem with the word like drive or other words that they tend to use in these types of questions is that if you were to look up this word in the dictionary, you would see that it has a lot of different definitions that are all context dependent. Let me give you a few examples. So for one sentence, they say, you know, you could always drive to a restaurant if you were so tired of my cooking. So that's one definition of drive. Second one, I used a 2-wood to drive the golf ball directly into the trees, right? So there is another example of the word drive, different definition, right? The third example, your recalcitrant views on personal hygiene will drive me into the arms of another lover. So another example of drive. Now, part of speech, different part of speech. You have displayed remarkable drive in your quest to become the world's biggest jerk. Also, a different definition of drive. And lastly, the drive to raise funds for the wounded veterinarians was remarkably unsuccessful because they misled people. But anyway, so that's another definition of drive. So you can see how the definition of drive changes depending on how it's used in the sentence. And that's the key behind these types of questions, is how is the word used in the sentence? And the best way to approach these questions is to get rid of that word that has multiple definitions and supply your own that has one definition. So we're treating it very similarly to the way we treat sentence completions. So enough talking from me. Let's dive in, look at a few examples, and you'll see exactly how to solve these guys. Okay, so in context words. These are words that have a definition that is a function of the way it's used in the particular passage, right? It's not a sort of a pure absolute definition. So if we look at number 21, it says in line 18, slipped most nearly means. Now again, slipped, you say, oh, slipped only means one thing, right? It means to fall over. But that's not actually true. It's a function of how it's used in the sentence. So the way you handle that is you go to the passage, you identify slipped, right? And then you just cross it out. Take your pencil and cross it out. And then we're going to treat this exactly like a sentence completion. That is, we're going to put in our own sort of unambiguous one definition word as opposed to an ambiguous multiple definition word, right? So, but he was always very suspicious of her intentions. He would frequently ask her about her husband's mysterious death. Oh, intriguing. And her story stayed the same until one day she blanked and changed a crucial detail. So what did she do? She momentarily forgot. Messed up, right? Do you see why that's a better word? These are better words than slipped because they are one definition as opposed to multiple definitions. So escaped easily, does that mean what we said? Nope. Forgot temporarily? Whoa, that's pretty close to what we said. Let's put a check next to it. Evaded stealthily? No. Addressed confidently? No. And slid accidentally? What do you know? That's pretty silly. Okay, good. So again, put in your own word, cross out the word that's in there, put in your own word, and then find the word in the answer choice that means your definition, right? Let's try another one. So we have captured, right? So again, we take this pencil, we cross out the word captured, and we put in our own word. So Dickens' iconic words perfectly blank the stark contrast between the English and French experience in the period leading up to the French Revolution. So perfectly, let's see, let's say expressed with words. Again, you don't need to put you don't need just one word, you can use a phrase. So he expressed well with words the contrast between the English and French experience. Okay, so we have captured, took possession of. Again, that's a pretty obvious definition for capture, but it's not the correct definition. It's what we're looking for, something that means expressed with words. Held the attention of, nope. Absorbed completely, no. Took hostage, no. Succeed in portraying, perfect. Okay, good. Make sense? Okay, let's try another one. There we go. There we go. Placing the flower, oh, we have to start here. So form most nearly means form. Can we cross that off, right? Placing the flower in the soldier's rifle barrel was a perfect blank of protest. The juxtaposition perfectly illustrated the chasm that existed between the two sides on the issue. Okay, so beautiful illustration of microcosm of. So illustration, I think, is a good word. Representation. Okay, so we have figure. Pattern, no. Type, that's pretty darn close. We're gonna put a check next to that. Custom, does not mean form. And structure, nope. Good. All right, let's do one more. So the rock concert was a pressure cooker. 3 days of sleep deprivation, high temperatures, and unbridled celebration to lift the crowd blank with delirium, right? We have the word mad. So off the crowd, let's say something along the lines of uncontrollable. Again, our own unambiguous word, right? Angry, mad, not very, angry, uncontrollable, not exact match. Insane, uncontrollable, no. Incomprehensible, uncontrollable, no. Humorous, uncontrollable, no. And then wild and uncontrollable, definitely. Okay, good. So again, the trick with these in-context words questions is you want to make sure that you're putting in your own word that does not have multiple definitions, and then just basically you're handling it exactly like a sentence completion, matching up the words in the answer choices to the words that you provided. And these question types are pretty popular. You're going to see at least 6 or 7 of them per test, so it's really good to have this technique mastered.